Hello, this is Kelly from Kelly's Coffee and Crime Chat. Happy Thursday. Oh, I am back using GarageBand for my recording because Spotify is not letting me in again to the Podcasters app, which is giving me a lot of trouble. So I hope that I am not too late. I'm hoping my internet is still on the fritz. I really need to get this uploaded tonight for early access because we've only got one day till the weekend. Well, one day till Friday. If I can get this uploaded tonight for early access, it will be for my Patreons and Spotify podcasters, Spotify Premium. If not, if I cannot get it up for tonight, it'll just be up tomorrow for everybody because we're having a lot of trouble, and I have been so busy this week that I haven't had time to record or anything. But I am drinking Java Mama Hot Fudge Sundae. I love this coffee. This one is not available right now, but they have other ice cream ones. And I know the fried ice cream one is a big hit that is available. And then we've got the Sanderson Sisters collection coming back, which comes back every year, and here in July already. But it is the Sanderson Sisters from Hocus Pocus. We've got the Bed and Breakfast, which is the cinnamon and sugar bananas pancakes, and then the Dead and Breakfast, which is the smoky maple pancakes. Those coffees, and then the Sanderson Sisters coffee, which is a caramel butter rum, and I ordered that. I've never had it. So I ordered that. Oh, they are on the menu under Spooktacular July. That's on the menu. You go there and it's got all of our wonderful fall flavors already ready to go. But I think these are only available until July 28th. And then I'm wondering if they're going to come back in the fall. But I think they're just putting it up there for Spooktacular July right now. So you can get it now. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. This case I've been wanting to do for a while. It takes place in Texas, and I went ahead and put it. I mean, Texas is kind of, I guess, the Midwest, in my opinion. It's a big enough state; it can be just about anything. But I also wanted to kind of branch out a little more around the Midwest because I am looking for more and more ideas. I don't want to end up running out of cases that I cannot find information on. So I am going ahead with this one. This is the story of Jennifer Jones and Bobbi Joe Smith. And if anybody in Texas that lives in Texas has probably heard this story, the only reason I know it is because I saw it on a while ago on the ID series called Twisted Love. And the name of the episode is Love and Hot Lead, and it is in the first season. And I think it's like the second episode. It's a very good episode. I don't watch that one normally, but this is a very good episode. It's not one where there's like bad acting or anything with the reenacting. I don't mind some reenactment, but some of these shows on there have really bad acting. But anyway, so that's one of my sources, and Texas Monthly is also one of my sources. I looked up the town. This takes place in Mineral Wells, Texas, which really kind of had my interest because it is the only place in Texas that actually has real bottled spring water. Back in the 1800s, real quick, this fascinated me. The people that moved there, of course, I forgot the guy's name, loved the town, but they were pretty far away from the first water source, which was one of the lakes there, or rivers, I think. I forgot the name of that too. But anyway, so he hired a driller to drill a well. So he drilled the well for him, but they thought, man, this water tastes funny. But they drank it anyway. They were reluctant at first, but they drank it, and then come to find out, they felt better. It was like a healing water. It's natural spring water. Natural spring water. And it just had something in it that people, if you're sick and you drank that water, you got better. So people started coming to drink the water there. And that's where the town's Mineral Wells. And I just thought that was very interesting. And you can actually go there, go into a place and sit down and order a bottle of mineral water. I'm thinking mineral water. I said spring, well, natural spring water, mineral water. And you can order it there. And it is the only town in Texas that has their own bottled mineral water. I thought that was very interesting. I think next time we go to Texas, I'm going to check this town out. I know it's not a big town. They've got like a state park. There's not much there. It used to be real big, like military town, I think they said. But I would still like to check that out. I think that would be pretty good. Maybe I can get some mineral water, and if I'm start not feeling good, I can drink it. But very interesting to me. Now, the story, we have Jennifer Jones, and I forgot to find out when these girls, their ages at the time, like when they were born. But this happened in 2004. Excuse me, if I'm not mistaken. Jennifer Jones, she lived with her dad and two sisters. She was just a young teenager. Her mom was in prison for something with drugs. And she didn't have her mom, and she really, really wanted a boyfriend. And she got a boyfriend one time, but of course it was one of those things where the guy sleeps with you and then leaves you. And she was the type that she did things that anybody wanted so that they would like her. And she was like that, and I can relate to that. At a young age, I understand that very much. You want someone there with you. You want a boyfriend. You want someone to have fun with and go out with, and someone to love you, And that's what she was looking for. She had an older sister named Audrey, and Audrey was, I can't remember how many. Oh, she had two sisters, but this was one of them. I didn't hear anything about her other sister, but Audrey was into girls, and she had this girlfriend. She found a friend of hers, her best friend, or one of her friends' best friend, set her up with this girl because she thought, they might hit it off, and her name was Bobbi Jo Smith. Now, they did hit it off right away. Bobbi Jo Smith was very, very easy to like. She was a lot of fun, just very, very easy to get along with. And she was raised by her grandparents, and she had a baby boy in 2001, and she was 15. So we can kind of figure out how, her age when she was born. So in 2001, she was 15, and she had a baby boy. The father took the boy from her. I don't know anything about the father. I'm thinking he was older, because I wouldn't think a young teenage boy would just be, I'm taking this boy and raising him. So I'm thinking it was somebody a little older than her. Now, this really crushed her, and she just started acting out. She cut all her hair off, basically just buzzed it almost, started getting tattoos, and she started hanging out with girls, and that's when Audrey was got together with her. So they started dating in 2004, and they weren't going out very long because Audrey introduced her to her sister Jennifer Jones, and right away Bobbi Jo liked Jennifer. And right when they met, it was like they met in March. I think it was the 24th, 25th of 2004. And the next day after they met, she asked Jennifer to meet up. And right away, it was like love at first sight for Jennifer. And Jennifer she always liked boys, but there was something about Bobbi Jo that she liked, and it was more like she could get love from her, like a mother, like a protector. And they were both teenagers. I mean, they may have been, I think by this time, Bobbi may have been 17, 18. So she was 17 or 18. So Jennifer was still pretty young at this time. But so she looked at her as like a mother, someone who could take care of her. It went from 0 to 100, like in a day. So, they did get together, and Audrey found out by catching them in bed. She came home one day. Bobby Joe was over there in bed with Jennifer. And then that's when Audrey's like, I'm out. Finished. I'm done. I don't want anything to do with you. Blah, blah, whatever. So, talking about Bobby Joe. So she left. And then sorry, I keep saying Audrey because she's a sister. Jennifer decided to move in with Bobby Joe. Now, Bobby Joe Smith lived with the guy that she had her baby from. His stepfather had a house, and she was free to live there, and she lived there since she was 13. I don't understand why she still wasn't at her grandparents, because she was raised by her grandparents basically, besides raising herself. And she started staying with him, and he taught her like electrical work, different trades. He was taking care of his ailing mother, and Bobby Joe would cut the grass, stay there. And so it seemed like a good arrangement, So, he, like I said, he was taking care of his ailing mother. And then after 3 days of Jennifer and Bobby Joe being together, Jennifer moved in. Only 3 days later. Now, this is the thing. This is what happens. They turned his name was Bob Dow. He was the stepfather, and they turned his house into a party house. It was like underage teen girls partying every night, and there are no rules, like anything goes. So, some people, I don't know who these people were, but people actually thought that they were taking advantage of Bob Dow by staying at his house and partying and inviting all their friends over, and all of that. Well, I've heard this both ways here. Jennifer was very jealous, and one source said that Bobby Joe couldn't even go to the restroom without her following her in there. Like, she would have other friends who were girls, and Jennifer didn't like it. So Jennifer would try to cut her off from talking to her friends. Well, she had friends, and they liked to come over to party, so, Jennifer didn't like that, so they had some friction there. Bob Dow had a collection of guns and knives. And with the alcohol flowing, you got alcohol, you got guns and knives in the place, and it just was not really good to be doing this. I mean, he's taking care of his ailing mother, and there's parties every night in this house. Well, Bobby Joe and Jennifer went to a Fort Worth mall. They had gotten money. Now, Bobby Joe, just to let everybody know, Bobby Joe had no prior record. She was never in trouble. Jennifer, on the other hand, had been in trouble for theft before. And I don't know what else. I don't know what else she had done, but she had a record. And she's the younger of the two. Well, they went to a Fort Worth mall and to spend the money that they got. And like I said, I cannot remember now how they got payment. They got payment somehow. And Jennifer was caught looking at she was looking at these wristwatches. She took one and planted it inside Bobby Joe's bag. So she was stealing it, but she was putting it in Bobby Joe's bag. They got caught. Security came, of course. They went to jail. Bob Dow was the one that bailed them out. And I don't know if it was both of them or just Jennifer, because Jennifer was the one that definitely was bailed out. I don't know about Bobby Joe. I thought they were both bailed. And this was like both of them. I mean, it was a lot of money. It wasn't just like $50 or $100. It was a lot of money. Well, since he bailed them out, he told Jennifer he wanted something back from her for bailing him out. Basically, he wanted to have sex with Jennifer, and he'd been wanting this for a while. This is an underage girl. Bobby Joe told him, no, you are not having sex with her. Well, he said, I need payback for this. So, they ended up trying to leave. And I can't remember if this was, this wasn't, they were talking about leaving, basically getting their stuff and leaving. And then they decided, well, they came up with this plan, to go ahead and let Bob and Jennifer have sex. They didn't have anywhere else to go, and blah, blah, whatever. I don't know exactly what they said to each other during this. So they ended up going into, Jennifer ended up leading Bob into the bedroom. And while they were in there for a while, a neighbor had called 911. There were gunshots fired. Cops show up. They see broken glass outside, like someone had broken in. They find a dead body with the face covered, and they find an elderly woman in a bedroom, horribly, horribly not taken care of. She was never changed. She was never fed. There's garbage all over the floor. Sheets are soiled. She was never taken to the bathroom. She's gasping for air. They get her to the hospital and the dead body is laying there still in the other bedroom. Bobbi Jo and Jennifer Jones leave. They're gone. Audrey, Jennifer's sister, is back with them because she heard, I don't know how she heard about this, but heard that they took off, that something had happened over there at the house, Bob Dow's house, and she wanted her sister back. So she went after them, and all three of them took off. They made it to Arizona, and they were at a hotel, and Bobbi Jo and Jennifer just left Audrey there, stranded her. They thought she was talking to the police because she would go outside and they saw a cop car come by, and they just thought, oh, she's talking to the police. So they took off and they left Audrey stranded there. They ended up taking off to California. They actually went into California, and they had all these arrest warrants out. They were gone for 3 days. Police found them sleeping in Bob Dow's pickup in California. So they got them, and when they uncovered what happened at the house, they found out that Bob Dow was the participant in a lot of the parties that the girls had. He was basically a director with his camera. He had Bobbi bring girls to the house for him. And this was going on since she was 13 years old. She would bring her friends over and have sex with Bob. And whoever else, I don't know. And he would film it. These are underage girls. I mean, it's ridiculous. He would knock Bobbi Jo out with drugs or whatever it was and have sex with her without her knowing and videotape it. And this went on for years. For years. And I don't know when she found out that he was doing this. He would take pictures of them posing with guns. They would be naked, no clothes on. He left his mother locked in her room. There was a lock on the outside of the door. So he would leave that locked. You know, she'd be locked in her room and couldn't get out. Well, she couldn't get out of bed anyway, but nobody could get in to help her because he had it locked. So this whole thing, he wanted his way with Jennifer. He wanted his way with her. He was obsessed with Jennifer, and Bobbi Jo kept telling him no. So what they did was, when Bobbi Jo let him into the bedroom to have sex with her, they started getting it on, and I don't know if they were actually having sex. I think they started having sex. She told him before they had sex, though, that he was too ugly to look at. He was old and ugly. He was 49 years old, but okay. But these are teenagers. You're old and ugly. I need you to put a bag over your face. So he did. He put a laundry bag over his head. And when they started, getting it on, it was either her or Bobbi Joe planted his gun, under his covers. So she was able to grab that and she was able to shoot him. Now, he was shot there were 4 shots fired. And I think they all 4 hit him. I'm not sure. The last shot was what killed him. And that's the one that he got in the neck. They are unclear on who shot the last shot. They don't know if it was Bobbi Joe or if it was Jennifer. My opinion, it was Jennifer. Now, this happened in 2004. They both went to trial. They're both saying the other one did it. You know how that is usually. What they really did, in my opinion, and in the one of the girls that was talking, a friend of Bobbi Joe's was talking on the show of Twisted Love, said that they saved a lot of other girls from this. This is like sex trafficking teenage girls. She would take them there, and he would have whatever his way with them or whatever, and videotape it. So they saved a lot of other girls from this, and Jennifer said on the show, they talked to them on the show at the very end of it. They're in prison. Bobbi Joe got 50 years. Jennifer testified against her. Jennifer got 48 years. So Jennifer said she never did love Bobbi Joe, that Bobbi Joe used her and made her a hitman for free. And that's basically what she testified to. Bobbi Joe said she did not pull the trigger on him. Yeah, she went along with it, but she did not pull the trigger on him, and says she still loves him. She still loves him. She was truthful on the interview on the show. She was crying, and she said she was with him for so many years, she didn't realize what she was doing was bad. She didn't know it was bad. And now looking back, yeah, she does feel terrible for bringing those girls to his house. But at the time, it was just like girls were just partying, And in prison, Bobbi Joe became a life coach. And she focuses on helping women who have been involved in sex trafficking. She's heavy into church, and that's when she became a life coach to help women. And they teach classes there to make people aware of things like this. There is a book based on this. It's called Bad Girls by M. William Phelps. M. William Phelps is the author. I'm trying to look it up because I want to get it in Audible, on audible.com. And I know it's on Thrift Books. It's on there for like $5, I think. And I'm trying to get it on Audible, but my internet won't bring it up because I would love to get that and listen to it. But that is the book it's based on. And I've heard that the book has a lot more facts in it. But that the episode on Twisted Love was factual on how this happened. But that is the story of Bobbi Joe Smith and Jennifer Jones and Bob Dow. And I don't know if anybody from the town or that lives near the town in Texas or that lives there has heard of this, or if they know any more than this. But I've been wanting to talk about it. I really thought that it was a good story. It was one that was, it was a shock to me because I didn't expect anything like this to come into it, especially toward the end when what came out about the guy who was a pervert, a sex trafficker, pedophile, messing with all of these teenage girls. And I'm not sorry he's gone. I'm not sorry they did what they did. And a lot of people are saying that they're surprised that they got the sentence that they did, being their age and the fact that what he was doing But that's the story. It's really sad all around. And they can the show can be seen on I don't know if it's on Max. I should be on Max or on ID Go. I'm not sure if you can see. You could probably see it maybe on demand, but it is the series Twisted Love, and Love and Hot Lead is the name of the episode. I have been watching some things when my internet's working. I watched the second season on Netflix, Worst Roommate Ever. It is good. The only problem is there's only 4 episodes. Last season had 5. I'm like, what is with the 4 episodes? It is so good. And I had the second one on, and then the third one came on, and my husband came home and he had to sit down because they're so good. These it is probably one of the better, getting to be probably one of my favorite true crime series. I just wish they had more episodes. I was so excited to see a second season, and then I'm like, oh, well, wait a minute, there's only 4. But the last one really bothered me. That bothered me more than anything, and there's a reason why it did. But I'm like, you disgust. Oh, I was so mad. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm really glad I do not have a roommate. And I'm really glad I never did, because this is ridiculous. Like, you can't even, and I know if you let somebody move in your place, you can't get rid of them. Even if they're just living there and not paying rent or anything, you cannot get rid of them. You have to go through all this legal stuff. Like, you can't just kick them out. I don't know. It's just one of those things that just shocks me, that if you have someone living with you and they're tearing up the place, they're not paying rent, they're eating all your food, they're doing all this stuff, you cannot get rid of them. I think that's wrong, really, myself. I just think it is. But it is a very good series. Now that I watch that really quick, I don't really... I don't think I've watched much of anything else. An Unexpected Killer, I'm still watching that. Very, very good show on Peacock. Peacock's got some good ones from, the true crime series. So that's what I've been doing. Like I said, I wish I could watch Worst Roommate Ever Season 3, but it's not out yet. But that is a good recommendation if you got Netflix. That is about it. I don't think I have anything else. Like I said, it's been a busy week. I've got to get my calendar caught up. I'm still on the 4th of July. I got to get my calendar caught up. I'm so sorry to the Facebook page, because I'm always sharing my page a day calendar, true crime stories, and I got to get that up. The next Patreon bonus episode will be I'm going to tell 3 true crime stories, 3 crime stories, and you tell me which one is the true crime story, if you can guess it. I can't wait. So I'm going to do that. There are 3 bonus episodes a month in my Patreon. This will be your second one. I figured I'll just have this be the second one, and then I'll do a third one. Because I love, and I go everywhere on those. I do true stories movies we're based on. I do old Hollywood murders, old murders from anywhere, and new murders from anywhere. Outside the country, other states, wherever. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. If there are any of my Patreon or Spotify premium supporters out there, let me know. If you have any other suggestions you want me to do one, I will. There are some I really, really want to do, but they're kind of well-known, like famously well-known. I kind of try to stay away from those as much as I can, because I try to get other ones out there that's known. So I have been listening to our true crime podcast, and their newest episode, I don't know if it's based on, because I was actually going to do this episode, but I got to listen to it to see. Based on the movie Three Billboards Out of, I forgot the town. Frances McDormand, Woody Harrelson. If you haven't seen that, that's a very good movie, and it is based on a true story. But I think the true story, it was a father that was doing this instead of the mother. And it's the newest episode on our true crime podcast. I like that podcast. It's two ladies, and they get right to the point, and they're very good at telling their stories. So I need to listen to that. I haven't had time to listen to it yet today. So I was on my list for Patreon. So I don't know yet if I'm still going to do it right now or not, or maybe later, because I don't like to do one if another podcast has done it that I know of, like close in that time. And I know it's for the bonus episodes, but I do want to look more into that one. That movie's pretty good. It's very, very blunt and vulgar, but it is good. A lot of people didn't like the end, but I thought it was a good movie. It had awesome acting in it. Oh, Sam Rockwell. He's the one that's in it also. And I haven't watched that in a while, so maybe I'll sit down and watch that. So that's all for today. Everybody have a wonderful, we're in the middle of the month already. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'm hoping I get this uploaded tonight with this horrible, horrible internet. Have a good one, everybody. I'll see you next time.